Scared Straight is when you go into a juvie. Well, they don't have juvies anymore, but you go in and talk to bad kids and teach them how to be good, right? And that is a feat in itself. But yeah, I used to be a really bad kid growing up in BC. Did a lot of juvie time back in the day. I was a bad kid. And ended up learning my lesson later on in life, that, life is about a whole bunch of other things other than money. But you guys don't care about that. No, but it is. And, before I get started here, I just wanted to talk to you, tell you a little bit about myself, just in case, in the future we keep doing these things. My story is really quite fascinating, actually. At the age of 16, I decided to go down to Mexico and live in Mexico for a little while. I was a professional fighter. I was an ex-soccer player, professional soccer player. I got drafted when I was like 17. And I had a great future of sports ahead of me. And then I went down to Mexico and got the bright idea I was going to smuggle up 25 kilos of cocaine. And I got away with it. It was the 90s. You got away with a lot in the 90s. And I got away with it. And I continued to do it all the way up until I was about 20 years old. And it was, that was my life. That was my life. That's all I knew, was being involved in that. And it wasn't until I got caught in Mexico. I was actually living in Mexico, and I got caught down there, and I ended up getting 24 years in prison. And it was the thing that changed my life, as you can imagine. It changed my life for the better. And people, they don't understand that when you tell them how great of a thing it was for me to go to prison at that time. And I did, and it completely changed my life. And the one thing that completely made it happen for me is that I got to actually get to know myself, which was the number one thing I never got to do. I was always so fake and phony in the drug dealer life and this criminal life. Like it was a horrible situation. You've seen it on the news, how these people are. It's not a good life to be in, right? I was so trapped in that. And what I found is that amidst all this chaos in my life, all these things, these bad things that were happening, the best thing that was happening was I was literally getting to know who I was, right? I was breaking down all the walls, breaking down all the phony stuff, and I was actually getting to know me as a person. And it only happened in that Mexican jail, sweating it out for years and years, that I started realizing 3 things I needed to do to change my life. And this is what I want to tell you guys. Like, if any of you guys suffer from depression, or you're feeling bad about yourself, or you're feeling like life is this, all I do is look at numbers, all I do is this and this, and this is my life, right? I get it, I've been there. And I'm going to tell you, if you are in chaos, your life is like horrible right now, or if you are going through some mental problems or some emotional problems, you are in the best possible position you can ever be in your life. And it's hard to believe that because we get so caught up in our head about what's happening. But you are in a great position, because when you are in the midst of chaos, that's when you're able to say, where are you? Where are you? Did he leave? He ate and left. That's when you're able to say, oh shit, there's something I got to do here. And the 3 things that I did to help my life, and I hope it applies to you guys. If you want to use it, please do. Number 1 is I had to stop lying. I was a compulsive liar before, and I lied about everything. And I lied about who I was, and I was phony, and I was using all these things to pretend who I was. And I had to stop doing that, right? That was number 1. Number 2, I had to stop listening to things that were in my head, negative self-talk from a child all the way up to that age. I had to stop. And every time I said I wanted to be famous, people were like, you're never going to do it. I had to stop listening to that, right? And start believing that these things were going to start happening to me, right? And the other thing that I had to do was I had to get rid of all these things in my life, material things and people that were just negative or not doing anything. You had to strip that from your life and go right back to the grassroots. And I'm telling you, it's hard to do. It takes you years to get through any kind of situation or life situation you're in, but you can do it. All you have to do is really get rid of all these negative things in your life, man. And I'm telling you, once you do that, great things start happening for you. And it's true. If you start getting rid of all these negative people and things that are just sitting around your house that you think define you, you will start to realize who you are as a person and what you can truly do in your life. And I'm telling you, I am a product of this. I have an amazing future coming up in 2020 because I've worked 10 years to get to this point, right? So even if you're down and your life sucks and you think you're a nobody and people are telling you nothing, please don't believe it. Just start pacing yourself and look for the future, and things will be amazing, all right? And I'm telling you, it's true, things will be amazing, right? That's it. I won't do any more talk. Yeah, I won't do any more talk. People will say, you talk too much. No more. Just settle it down. All right, we're here to win some prizes, maybe? Yeah. All right, so this is what we're going to do. You guys were split up into